Stellar Blade is shaping up to be the game of the year, something that's shocking a lot of people when it comes to this overall release of its demo, that the pre-orders have skyrocketed on all selling platforms, including Amazon, including the PS Store, and including a lot of other retailers. So this is something that people haven't been expecting with the demo. The demo itself was released early before its scheduled release, where it caused controversy with some of the elements revealing Eve in her stunning introduction into the game, and a lot of people were honestly taken aback by the overall aesthetic beauty of the game itself. And it seems like that early pre-release of the demo has caused such a stir that many people were waiting for the real release of the demo, and now that has arrived, everyone is clamoring to play the demo, including every streamer, and it is causing such a skyrocketing in popularity for the game itself, causing a lot of people to realize this is just not a game about aesthetic beauty. This is a game about skill and overall difficulty. And that's something I realized when I played the game in its demo itself, that it's just like a Sekiro or Souls or From Software game where you have to build up the skills and timing in order to defeat these different enemies and bosses. And I think that's a thing a lot of people are realizing with the demo, and they're liking the overall options you have as a player to expand the skills of Eve, the overall contents of her gear or her suits or overall designs and protective shields. There's a lot of elements in this game that kind of lend back to that complex gameplay interaction that we all hope and love to get from games nowadays, that is sorely missing from the modern day games industry, specifically the Western games development sphere, where everything is just basically a walking simulator with quick time events. And I think that is the thing that people are seeing with Stellar Blade, is just it's not quick time events, and it's not a button smasher, slasher, dasher type of game. This is a real game where you have to learn the overall timing, movements of your boss. You're gonna die repeatedly, and you're gonna learn and get better with time. And this is what I actually learned myself when playing the game. I died a bunch of times. I learned, I got better. I realized all the different moves and skills you have, the combinations, the attacks, the overall defensive moves, and you get used to it, and you eventually get better. And I think this is at the core of video games since its inception, especially anyone that's been playing video games since the 90s, 80s, or 2000s, where games were difficult to play and you lost a lot. That is not the case with modern day video games, where everything's meant to be easy and you're supposed to just walk around and hear a story. I think you see these gameplay elements a lot today in modern game storytelling, and as well with even Japanese games that are adopting these lackadaisical fighting mechanics to appease the Western modern audience, if that is even a real audience to please, and they're dumbing down their games. And it's nice to see a Korean developer do the opposite. This game, it looks beautiful, but it's extremely difficult to play, and you have to learn your enemy and bosses. And I think that is the thing that people are seeing. You see a kind of a very in-depth skill tree of ultimate attacks and defense moves, survival moves. You have stores where you can purchase elements, you can purchase items that can boost your overall attack speed and overall health position. And this is something a lot of people are enjoying about this game, that is bringing back that old school difficulty that we only can find from Software that makes some of these games. And I think that is the happy enjoyment people are having with this game, and that's what's leading to this ultimate skyrocketing in pre-orders, where it's number one over Persona 3 Reload, which was a really popular game that was getting a lot of overall praise for its remake. And of course we have Helldivers 2, which is taking the nation by storm, taking the world by storm, and bringing back all the old school gamers in such a way that is similar to Stellar Blade, where you have these older gamers coming back enjoying a game that is focused on pleasing the game player. And I think this is the essential thing that we're seeing now in the industry. If you make a game that pleases game players, you're gonna make a lot of money. I think that's what we're seeing with Stellar Blade, that's what we're seeing with Helldivers, and that's what we're seeing with any game that is succeeding nowadays. You're pleasing the fan base and you're pleasing the game player in such a way where they like playing games again. And I think that's what we're getting with Stellar Blade. People are liking to play games again, and I think that's what I'm feeling when I'm playing Stellar Blade. I'm like, oh, this reminds me of the days of playing Tomb Raider or the old Final Fantasy games, some JRPGs. This reminds me of those difficult games where I can have fun. And of course Helldivers 2, this reminded me of my N64 days of playing with different people and different teams fighting, maybe not player versus player, but team games like maybe Conker's Bad Fur Day or something else like that, where you're playing in a team dynamic. And I think that is the thing that I'm reminded of with these games that are coming out nowadays. I feel like they're hitting at the core point of what gaming is today, and that is just fun with your friends or beating a tough challenge through repeated learning processes. And I think that's what we're seeing with Stellar Blade, where people are getting good at this game, doing things that people are saying it's impossible to do in the game, and they're doing it relatively easily with extreme amount of practice and do-overs. And I think that is at the essence of any game that is good. You lose and then you learn and you get better, and I think that's what Stellar Blade is doing amazing at. It is probably going to get even better upon its release, and that is leading to this skyrocketing popularity that cannot be stopped, no matter how many hit pieces are coming out online that are just trashing this game. The response from everybody is just, oh, this is a beautiful game. This is the game of the year. This is the game I want to see. This is the game that is in the zeitgeist that everyone has been clamoring for. A game that no one knew they actually needed but really want now that they know it exists. And I think that is what's happening with Eve, with Stellar Blade, with Shift Up, the developer. They're hitting a cultural point where people are starving for this sort of game, and they got the perfect game at the right time. And this may sell millions of copies just based off the demo itself, because the demo confirmed for a lot of people that this is just not a simple game. This is actually a good game that you want to play and spend time with. You may want to spend hours increasing your skill level with, and that is the type of gamer that is predominantly in the space of playing video games, buying consoles, upgrading their PCs. This is the type of game they want to play, and here it is, made specifically for the gamer that has been neglected for the past decade or so, in lieu of this modern gamer audience that doesn't buy games, which is bankrupting the gaming industry right now, specifically the Western development gaming industry, where they're making games for people that never wanted to play games. And that's why you're seeing these consultancy firms like Black Girls Gamers that are coming into the gaming space with no idea what gamers actually want in their games. They just want to include themselves in the gaming space because they see it has influence and they want to control it. And I think that has been the suffering point for a lot of gamers for the past decade, where developers were making games for people that don't want to play games and hate gamers. And now finally with Shift Up, we have someone that loves gamers, that is a gamer, that wants to make games for gamers, and that's why it's #1 in pre-order all over the world. And Stellar Blade just might change the gaming industry for the better. At least that's what I'm expecting and hoping for. Hopefully you're hoping for the same thing. I love this game. The demo was amazing, stunning in every single way possible, not just aesthetically, gameplay mechanic wise as well. So I'm excited for this game. You tell me what you think about this game. Are you excited for Stellar Blade? Are you waiting for its initial release, the physical copy, or are you going to get it digitally, deluxe edition? I already got my deluxe edition ordered, pre-ordered. I'm waiting to play this. Hopefully you're excited just as much as I am. You leave your comments. Tell me what you think about the situation. Do you think Stellar Blade will be the game of the year? I think there's a high possibility it will be, because so much people are just attracted to this overall game and its gameplay, its looks, because it's doing something that is not being done in the video game industry, at least for the last decade or so. So leave your comments. Tell me what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. This is Wagner Knows Why. Catch you next time.